2, 1.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for coming. A mom, a brief eulogy, a praise. Eulogy means praise. How do you encapsulate a person's life in just a few minutes? Well, Carolyn's pretty good. But of all the sermons and Bible studies that I've written and shared, this will be my first eulogy, and happens to be my mom at the same time. The Bible reads this: for everything there is a season. There's a season and a time for every matter under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. Of memories and times and seasons, I can share this. Every one of us goes through seasons. Every one of us goes through seasons of life. And our mom had many seasons. From farm life, to marrying dad, becoming a military wife, living in France, back to the States again. Dad leaves for Vietnam. Mom must manage the house in Virginia with 2 kids, 2 children, and she waits for Dad's return. Dad gets transferred to California, and she leaves her parents and her siblings behind in Virginia. And Dad leaves for Germany, and she now has 3 kids. And again, she waits for Dad's return. Dad retires from the U.S. Army. Kids are growing up, and now there are 4. Mom encounters an impairing stroke, and later Dad is gone again. But this time, Dad's not coming back. My memories of Mom through all of these seasons was her toughness and her giving. I remember her driving Robin and I to her sister's house in Virginia during a hurricane. And it was freaky because you couldn't see where you're going, if you've ever driven in a hurricane. But maybe not here. Mom would write letters to Dad while he was in Vietnam. She was enduring the life of a military wife. She urged me to write Dad too, and I did. And look, I got letters back. You know, there's a 6-year-old getting letters back from somewhere. And she trusted in this. She would always stay home. She always wanted to be home when the kids got home from school. She didn't want to be out working. She didn't want to be somewhere. She wanted to be that kind of mom where kids have someone to come home to. And that was her trust. In her younger years, she did participate in like a room mother and PTA and a little bit of stuff in school. And later on, she did decide to have a part-time job, which was kind of weird for us because we're not used to that. Going out to pick up Mom from work, that was different. And then the stroke changed everything for all of us. Half of her body paralyzed. Therapy tried to reactivate her brain, but it didn't work. From care home to care home, and lastly to Robin's house, Mom endured. She fought the fight for life. She was a fighter. Yeah, stubborn. Okay. But she wasn't going to quit. In giving, she wanted a good home. Mom loved to work in the backyard, in her gardens. How do I know this? Because she would call me to help out. Where were my sisters? No, it was me. Where's the rake? Where's the garbage? Where's the bag? Who's working in the backyard in the sun? Me. They weren't there. She loved to work in her garden. She loved to make the house nice. She makes the best. I had the best fried rice you'd ever had. And if you guys like homemade enchiladas, oh man, that's what I remember, right? And the homemade biscuits. Come on, I keep going for it. She even crocheted me a sweater, yellow. I like crocheted me a sweater, and she even made me some house shoes. But of all these memories, it were those times when she waited for Dad to come home that was so enduring. That was the greatest part, the tough part. Returning, right, waiting for Dad to come back. The patience, the endurance, the sacrifice. There must have been hope in her heart, always waiting for Dad to come back. To help her, right, to move on, carry on. And how much more after Dad passed away, living in a care home, and finally at Robin's and Roy's house. Seasons of waiting, seasons of strength, seasons of giving, seasons of endurance. In the book of Romans, chapter 5, it reads that not only so, but we glory in our suffering because we know that suffering produces perseverance, character, and character hope. And that is our mom. She had those. She had the hope, the character, the patience. The book of Daniel even says this, that God changes times and seasons. He deposes kings and raises up others. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to the discerning. So how about us? Here we are. How about us? What season are you in? What seasons or seasons are you going through right now in your life? What are you waiting for? What's happening with us? How do we endure? Because Jesus Christ came to save us in the same way. But now we are in a season of waiting. We're waiting for Christ to return. We're waiting for Jesus to return. Just like Mom worked and suffered and endured and waited for Dad to come, we are now in that same place right now, waiting for Christ to return. And you know, the blessing thing is that Mom also had faith. She had faith in God, and she even confessed her salvation with Jesus before she passed. The Bible says that if we confess with our mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe that in our hearts that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Mom did confess that. Mom's seasons were a picture of life, and not just life, but by giving. And during her years of waiting, we should do the same. She brings to us into this world 4 children, but in those 4 children, 4 families, and in all of us together here today. Let us also embrace life just like this. Let us focus and be blessed by the salvation that is before us. And let us have a season of waiting and a season of trusting in Jesus Christ. And with that, I say thank you.